The Grand Tour. Take a car on the brink of collapse around the world, competing in a number of different challenges with an end objective of returning home again on a set budget. Who doesn't want to play that game? Well, that's exactly what I've made, and it's brilliant. Hello viewers, you join me awaiting to embark on an epic road trip in Gran Turismo 7. A road trip that will take me across 3 continents. Now the producers have said that I need to find myself a Japanese sports car here in the UK and travel through Europe, the USA and Japan, competing in a number of races, eventually finishing in the car's motherland to take part in one of the most lucrative races in Gran Turismo 7. The WTC 600 at Tokyo Expressway. Welcome to the Gran Turismo. What's this? It's from the show's producer, Wheelman. In order to complete your challenge, there are some rules you must follow. You have just 100,000 credits to buy your Japanese sports car and make the necessary upgrades for the forthcoming races. You are permitted 5 tune-in upgrades, generous, in each of the 3 continents, and your plane tickets to travel between continents costs 200 credits each. If you damage your car or if you fail to win races, there will be credit penalties. Running out of credits before making your way home back to the UK will leave you stranded and left for dead. Have fun and good luck, Handy Wheelman. Let's go and find ourselves a Japanese sports car. Where else to begin my search other than the used car dealership? I needed to find a Japanese sports car that wouldn't put a massive dent in my budget, but it also had to have enough potential to compete in the road trip's finale race, the Tokyo Expressway WTC 600. That's when I found this. This is a Mazda RX-7 and it cost me just short of 2/3 of my 100,000 credit budget. I found this little Mazda for 58,000 credits. It does, however, have some problems, as you would expect with any used car. As you can see, it's very much neglected by the previous owner. No service history and no evidence of an oil change in sight. Therefore, it does mean this car is a bit down on power. Furthermore, the car has a significant weight problem. I myself am not in full race driver trim, as you can see, and the previous owner, James something, seems to have left his fish tank in the boot of the car. Both of these factors add substantial amount of weight to the car, but let's not get bogged down with all that. We've got races to get to. I think we need to get cracking. Coming up, I shout at a car, "Come on, little RX-7, come on!" I don't get the thing stopped. Get the thing stopped! And something comes out. Safe. Poo's coming out. Oh, and there's one more thing the producers forgot to mention. Any damage to the car will cost me a flat rate of 1,000 credits. Any scrape, any bump, any slight touch from the AI, and I will lose 1,000 credits from my 100,000 credit budget. On top of that, any final finishing positions below P1 is minus 100 credits. The first part of the road trip brings me to my local track of Goodwood. Here, the cars around me will be slow, but very clumsy, and I can't afford, literally can't afford, to incur any damage. Let's set off and get to our first road trip race. The Sunday Club Classic at the Goodwood Motor Circuit. I've got my work cut out for me here because I've got a fish tank in the back, and we've also got the weight of the driver, and we're also down on power because of the previous owner's neglect. The AI are slow around here, but they can be clumsy, and I can't afford to take any damage because it's 1,000 credits. If the AI hit me or if I hit them, them's the rules. Ooh, power sliding out of the last corner to take P4. These comfort hard tires really do resemble a set of balding tires. Got good run out of that corner, up into P2 with probably about half a lap remaining for P1. Come on, little RX-7, come on! I've only got one straight remaining to take this position. I was going to lose minus 100 credits, and that's not a great way to start the road trip. Approaching the back of him, I've got to be very careful down into here. This car's very squirrely on the brakes, but up into P1. Need to get on the brakes, can't afford to. He's round the outside. Oh, come on. I don't want to. I'm going to have to dive bomb here. Actually, I know I'm going to send it. He's going to go wide. I'm going to cut back. Kind of get a good. Oh, no. That's not a good start, is it? That's the. Oh, man. I was just cutting back for that really good run out of the last corner. That is terrible. 1,000 points and minus 100 credits in our first race. What a disaster! Minus 1,000 points and minus 100 credits for hitting him on the last corner. I did everything right then. I was trying to cut back and I would have launched me onto the start-finish straight and I would have passed him easily. But no, he decided to stop on the apex like they always frickin' do. Oh, it's cost me massively in the first race. The next destination on my road trip brings me to Lake Maggiore circuit for a Japanese front-engine rear-wheel drive race. My eating habits have been resolved, and with an oil change and a bit of a tune-up, this engine is now back to full power. Before we head to Lake Maggiore, I think it's time to make some much-needed improvements to my absolutely brilliant Japanese sports car. Right, I'm going to make the first of my 5 upgrades. I'm going to go with the sports silencer because just have a look at the difference. So if we put the semi-racing silencer on there, 214 brake horsepower it gives me for 6,000 credits. Whereas if I go for the sports silencer, it's 211. I feel like that's a good significant bump up for not as much credits as you can see. So I'm going to pick up the sports silencer for my first upgrade. Next, I'm going to go with the height adjustable sport suspension. Basically the same principle. If you're looking at the racing suspension, 15,000 credits compared to the 5,200. And I think the height adjustable suspension for this car, for this RX-7, is perfectly fine. So I'm going to pick one of those up. That's second upgrade. For the third upgrade, I'm just going to put on the sports brake kit because the pads don't do enough as the don't do as much as the discs do, and I think they are good. Like I would do with anything, I would add on start upgrading the brakes first to improve the car's performance. So that's why I'm going to go with for my third upgrade of the 5, the sports brake kit. Right then, Lake Maggiore for the second race in our road trip, and this race is no joke, let me tell you. We've got our sports discs and we've got the height adjustable suspension, the sports silencer for a bit of extra power, but we're still on those comfort hard balding tires, and the rear just wants to break away from me at any moment, just like that. Oh, it's fun to drive, but it's a handful. Get the thing stopped! Get a nice exit. We can see P4, 3, and 2. Where is P1? P1 is off into the distance, man. Don't turn in on me. I'm there. Do you realize that it's 1,000 credits every time you hit me? Oh, man, I can't wait to get on some sports mediums or something, because this is painful. It's fun, but my God, when you're trying to race, it's painful. Oh, squirrely coming out of there. I'm going to late brake him into this corner. Oh, I was a bit too late brake even for me. Get it slowed down. He's on the outside. Don't touch him. Oh, man. It's just too quick. The tyres on that car is just, they're too good. I've got one opportunity into this last corner. I've chosen to go the outside. That's not the right move. I'm going to try and hang it out round the outside. Come on. Get the power down. It's a drag race. He's tucked in behind. That's a great finish. Yes. Oh, fantastic. Yes, P2. That was an absolutely cracking finish. That was damage limitation. P1 had bolted. The best I could hope for was P2, and I just pipped him on the last corner. That was brilliant. I loved that. So what was that? So no damage from any other car, so that's all good. And it was only minus 100 credits for losing position to P1 at the end. I'm happy with that. The third and final race of my European expedition brings me to Spa-Francorchamps for the Japanese 550 Clubman Cup. If I'm going to be competitive here, I'm going to need more upgrades and some much needed modifications. This is a performance-enhancing racing strip, or so I was told by some local Italians. I've also taken the liberty of adding a wing to my car because I thought F1 cars have wings, they're fast, I should put a wing on too. Then there's the tuning upgrades, and I only have 2 left, so I better make them count before I switch to a different continent. Right, it's time to make my final 2 upgrades. We made 3 before that race. We've got now 2 remaining. So I'm going to go with the sports computer because, again, same scenario. Look at the fully customizable computer, 4,500. I know it's not like big difference, but I'm trying to save as much money as I can here. 223 brake horsepower that would give me. And if we just go for the sports computer, 221. So it's a difference of a few horsepower. So that's the reason behind I'm choosing the sports computer. And the next thing, I've got to get off these tires, man. They're ridiculous. I think the sports mediums are going to serve us really well on this road trip. I think they're going to be good. I'm thinking all the time about that WTC 600 in Tokyo Expressway. So that's why I'm going to go for the sports mediums tires, because I don't want to buy in too many sets because they start to get really expensive if you're talking about like the where are they to this sort of money. I can't afford that with the budget. Right, the third and final leg of my European tour brings me to the Japanese Clubman Cup, the 550. What have we got? 3 laps to make up 12 positions. I can feel the difference already. This car is on fire with these tires. This RX-7 has just come alive on these tires. It's an absolute joy to drive this thing. He's gone narrow. Oh, he's just covered off the exit, which has just ruined all my speed down to Puon. Oh, he's so much better on the brakes. This thing's glued, absolutely glued to the track. I have got no complaints with this car. I am so glad I picked this RX-7 for this road tour, for this road trip around the world. We're going to have some fun with this thing. It's got good power. This is the 550. We're going to have to step it up a notch for when it comes to the 600 races, but let's concentrate because we're going through Eau Rouge. Whoa. What a save. Pooh's coming out. It's not done yet. 5 cars to get through cleanly. It's not done yet. Blimey. Keep the momentum. Come on. It's a good exit. The RX-7 on RX-7 action. It's a drag race down to Puon again. He's just got the legs on me. Let's keep it clean. Oh, it's another contact. No. He was all out of shape through there, and I just had nowhere to go. Damn it. I don't want to lose any more credits. Come on, I need these top 2 positions. Go, 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 go. I've got nowhere. Go, go, go. Oh, no. Oh. Let's summarize our road trip so far, where we take a trip through these staggering Swiss hills on our way to the airport to get to our next continent of the USA. My little used RX-7 was purchased for 58,900 credits. Then in only our first race, I was penalised 1,000 credits for hitting P1, and also I lost 100 credits for finishing second. Next was some much needed upgrades, and an oil change along with an exhaust, discs and some decent suspension cost me 7,950 credits. The second race on our road trip, we sent our little RX-7 around Lake Maggiore, and with our upgrades it was transformed. However, a close P2 finish still cost me minus 100 credits. Next was the final 2 upgrades before I switched continents, and this came in the form of adding a better brain and some much needed boots on the car, totaling 4,400 credits. The third and final leg of my European road trip brought us to Spa for my biggest credit penalty yet, minus 2,000 credits for colliding with a fellow RX-7 and a road-blocking Supra. After all of that, we leave Europe with just a mere 25,550 credits. And on that terrible disappointment, it's time to end episode 1 of the Gran Turismo. I will see you on track in the USA. Good night!